Welcome back to Robeson Design. I'm Rebecca Robeson. So we recently uploaded the Denver Loft project. How many of you saw that? Raise your hands, please. But let me just tell you, that was a quick walkthrough of the house from start to finish. And honestly, the comments were, well, they just made me feel really good. Let me just say, I've read them all. I know who you are. And some people even said, they don't know why we don't have 1 million subscribers. So if you guys want to help us reach 1 million subscribers this year, or actually any year, I'd be happy any year, but this year would be particularly good, please share our videos on your social media accounts and with your friends. Oh, that would be such a nice birthday present. It is my birthday month, you know that, right? Today, I have the top 10 construction-related details that we used on the Denver Loft project. I think you're gonna love it. You're gonna get so many great ideas that you can perhaps use in your own home. So now, let me show you the top 10 things we did to take this dated apartment condo and turn it into a luxury dream loft. Number one, let's start at the beginning. It's all about that first impression. The client sent me photos. They were the real estate photos of the condo that they just bought. I saw the pictures and I thought, wow, lots of potential. I started with my first impression when I walk in the door. Before, the first impression wasn't so great. You looked down this long, skinny hallway to a piece of drywall separating windows, and one was off to the side. It wasn't symmetrical, and you know I love symmetry. I knew that I wanted to create a focal point that had symmetry in it. How was I going to change the windows? I couldn't. So what I did was I created an amazing piece of wood. I think it's called fumed eucalyptus. Incredible species of wood. This piece of wood starts right at this piece of drywall. It starts right there and then it goes over. It covers part of the window, but what it did was it created a center focal point with which I could hang this gorgeous Liz Jardine smoke painting. I look at all of the photos that we had taken, right? All the professional photography, and there are some really great shots. My favorite of the entire condo, those 2 chairs, that piece of art. Oh, and maybe the reason is because, well, it's beautiful, but it's because I know what went behind all of this. I know the thinking that went into it. That was a pretty creative solution. Leave a comment below and let me know. What do you think? Number 2. It is the backsplash behind the cooktop. Oh, yeah. I knew that I wanted to really bring your eye up. I mean, these are 13-foot ceilings. I took the whole back wall and I did this like stack stone tile going all the way up. Now, originally my design wanted that stack stone all the way across. And then we started thinking, you know, if she cooks spaghetti in here, that stack stone is gonna be hard to clean. So now we've solved the problem of being able to clean this backsplash by making it smooth. But guess what? The size of my slab missed what my space was available for, but like 3 feet. I was gonna have to have a seam, and I don't like seams any more than I like tags. I played with it in my model, and guess what? Came up with this idea. Well, what if we put it real close down to where the cooktop is, and we seam it, but we hide the seam with this little shelf that could go across. And you know what that did? It covered up the fact that I had to have a seam. It looked like it was intentional, and it created a place we could put those beautiful oil bottles. This is a downtown loft, exposed ceilings and ducts and concrete and no brick. So we brought the brick in. Which wall was I gonna put the brick on? The living room has 2 walls of windows and then there's a side wall. Well, if you do it there, then where do you stop? Like, do you have that question? If you start doing this material, where do you stop? Well, I just kept on going. And I found that by taking my brick, of course, on our feature wall that the television's on, wrapping it around by the doorway to the master bedroom, then continuing it on up above the cabinets in the kitchen, it fixed a couple things. It allowed me to stop my cabinets at a decent height, but not feel like I had this cavernous space up there of just a bunch of drywall. Behind the bar, as the doors open and all that, I actually put the brick behind there too. So that was pretty stinking cool. And above the sink, yep. I like brick. Number 4, again, with tile, how do you use tile to your advantage? I found this amazing oval tile. I thought it was so gorgeous. And here's what you need to know. Each one of those is cut, and what makes the pattern is the gray grout. Poor Pete. To have that tile all in the shower, for example, it would have been so busy. It's a super small bathroom, and people make that mistake. Don't use busy tile in a small space unless you do what I did. And that is, I started it on the wall behind the toilet, and I took it not just to the edge of the glass for the shower, but all the way across. Then I picked something super calm and smooth to go inside of the shower. Now, that made a larger feel in the room. And you know, the homeowner, she was concerned about doing the bathrooms because she said, it's so small, what can we do to make it more functional? I said, first off, a pedestal sink, as cute as it might be, is the least functional piece of furniture you can have. And a lot of you probably have this, think about it. In your bathroom, you have a small space. Oh, well, we can just use a pedestal sink. Wrong. So I was able to get rid of the pedestal sink, do a vanity in there that went from edge to edge, maximizing that location, that space, and really it made the bathroom feel larger. So look, we have tons of storage now for these girls, and they are going to love me. Wait till you see the blue room. You know what these are? These are mirrors. Mirrors from Pottery Barn, mind you. I love that room, and it was such a challenging room, and here's what you don't know. That's why I'm doing this video, because I want you to know the things behind the scenes. That bedroom did not have any exterior windows. It's kind of claustrophobic feeling, isn't it? There's no natural light. So here's how I took care of that. As I showed in the original video, but it's worth going into a little more detail. I added these mirrors that look like paned windows. That's key number 1. They look like paned windows, right? Because they're beveled mirrors. But you know why it worked? Because I hung window treatments to the left and the right of the windows. You actually, first impression, you think that that room has windows in it. Also in this bedroom, there happened to be 2 closets. One was like a little walk-in closet, and then one that was like a bifold door closet. Look at this before picture and see what this closet space looked like before. And I said, why don't we use the actual walk-in closet as a closet? And over here, let's take the doors off, bifold doors, and let's raise the header height much higher. And what we can do is create a desk niche. And he has his glasses, and so I gave him an extra pair because I know that I wear glasses, and if I can't find my extra pair, I am miserable, not to mention blind. Number 6, do you remember me talking about the door heights changing from what it was originally to what we ended up doing? Well, here was the deal. It wasn't just the heights, although in a 13-foot ceiling, a door that's only 6'8" looks super squatty, but look at the style of the door. It was that they were white paned glass French doors. It just seemed like the styles were not in line with each other. A French door also means the 2 doors that open up. And that's what we did, but we like changed it with frosted glass, or we used mirror in all the bedrooms for the closet. I mean, it was such a cool thing. And the hardware we used, take a look at this hardware. You guys, the hardware is solid bronze. Along with that same concept of the styles not being cohesive within the space when we first got there, was this bedroom, which now we know is the purple bedroom, but the real color is called, what's it called? Shadow. I always want to call it smoke. Do not buy smoke, you'll end up with a completely different color. Shadow by Benjamin Moore. It happened to be the color of the year for 2017. It's a great smoky, that's why I call it smoke. But look at how the rich, deep tones of the walls being painted that color just changed the whole urban feel completely. From this like country French to downtown gorgeous. Number 8. Now this one's a really cool one. It will apply to some of you and some of you not, but I think this is a lesson worth learning because if you don't have to deal with it today, you may have to deal with it tomorrow. I loved the exposed ducting in this place. However, some of these pipes, they were painted weird colors. Take a look at this one in the corner next to the closet. It was black with white writing on it, which is super urban, but we weren't going quite that urban. Why should I stay here but wait? Didn't get rid of them. They're still there. They're still part of the cool scene, but I painted them. The one that was on the wall, the horizontal one, that was the most annoying. That one I painted the color of the wall. And the one that's coming down by the concrete pillar, we just painted it black and got rid of all the white writing. So here's the tip. If you want something to go away, you can paint it to go away. And number 9, I'm gonna take you to the master bathroom. So one of my little tricks with flooring is that I like to keep the colors consistent. Sometimes I go from hardwood to hardwood looking tile in a wet space. But you know, sometimes you can change the pattern if the room is right. Now the master bathroom in this condo was a good size, so I had enough space to kind of change it up. So I found this really cool chevron tile that had, it looked like kind of a combination between the reclaimed wood, which is on the wall in her bedroom, and our existing wood floor. And one of those wood floor pieces in that matched exactly. So that gave me permission to change it up. Now, why is there a platform? I'll tell you why. When you're in a condo and you have people living below you, you need the plumbing to get to your tub. So you have 2 choices. You go down, with which your neighbor's probably not real keen on that idea, or you go up. So you have to raise your own flooring. So I kind of did a rounded effect, and look at this freestanding tub. This is a stinking lot amount of work. Imagine this, all these individual. I had to draw this out on SketchUp, and I said, so I want these to be 1.5 inches wide. That's probably 2 inches. Pete, I said 1.5 inches. Maybe I said 2 inches here, and these are 1 inch. He had to cut this tile into 1-inch slices. He probably thought when the designer from California arrived here, his life was over. Oh, poor Pete. He did a good job, didn't he? Thumbs up for Pete. Your hands are wet, Pete. You got water. And number 10. I kind of touched on this on the last video, but I wanted to give you a little bit more detail. So I decided to put stone on the walls in the shower as well as around the tub. The first stone that I found was this chiseled stone, and I thought it was so cool. Now this isn't just tile, it comes in tile pieces. They take this cutter, like laser cutter, and they cut this like wavy pattern in it. Then I got to thinking, that would be hard to clean in your shower, and that gets all over it. It would just kind of create this. Bleh. So then I found the same exact material that had not been carved out. So it was a smoother version of the same thing, and it was perfect. But I love the subtlety of the shower itself, having the smoother tile coming out, turning the corner to the tub, and baby, go crazy with the gouges in there, because the texture can totally be enjoyed and loved in an area that's not wet and gonna have to be washed. So now I have the chisel on one side and the stone on the other. But guess what? There's more. Because when I went, right as Peter was about to put that tile in, guess what I discovered? Because it is natural stone, it came in such a wide variety. So we got this chiseled stone, right? I actually went there and I laid it out on the floor. I pulled all the darker ones together, all the medium color ones together, all the lighter colored ones together, and we laid out for Peter, start with the dark on the bottom and like a ombre effect, get lighter as you go to the top of the room. So by doing this ombre effect and the way that we installed it, it took care of the problem, and it is so subtle because each tile just gently graduates up. I bet you didn't even see it when you saw it the first time, did you? But I'm here to tell you, that was a lot of work to get that just right. So I hope all of these things are helpful for you guys and that you can take these and apply them in some way or another in your house. There are principles behind every one of them. And I guess the bottom line to most of my principles are make things look taller, make them look wider, make them look bigger. And if you have something too big, make it look smaller. It's all about proportion. If you want to know more about interior design, where I really take you deep into the concepts and the principles of interior design in every aspect, the best place you can find that is at the design sessions. You find that on my website, well, I guess you don't have to say that anymore. They tell me I'm out of date when I say that. I'm not trying to push this million subscriber thing, although I guess I sort of am. But if you're not a subscriber and you're still watching, I want to say, see, you should be a subscriber because you are a loyal follower of Robeson Design. We love you guys. We read your comments. Leave us one. And be sure to share our videos with people. It means a lot to us. And we'd love to spread the news about good interior design. All right, you guys, I look forward to seeing you next time. Remember, I love you, mwah, and I will peace out now. Oh wait, don't forget, the next video we put up, I'm gonna go through the same kind of details, only it's about the furniture, the window treatments, the art, the accessories, it's all the pretty stuff, the fashionable stuff. Can't wait for that. Hope you come back. All right, guys, bye.